So to me, the important question for transit agencies today is not should they build streetcars or light rail or heavy rail. The question is, if you have an existing rail system, should you scrap it today and replace it with buses right now, or try to keep it going for another 10 years and then scrap it and let the driverless cars replace it? No more buses.
Well, can you ignore the trend? Your thinking is really from 1960s. Let's automobilize the city. In your statement, you did not mention the quality of life in the city. You do not consider the fact that you cannot have a city with million or more population which does not have good transit and is livable. Try to see. Cities which tried that were Detroit and Houston and so on. And if you hear thinking about of various mayors around the world, including our mayors here today, he was saying, we want to favor pedestrians and livability in the city and public transportation. Are we all misguided? And you are suggesting that the solution from 1960s, that we should rebuild cities into parking lots with a few streets in between. Is that the trend that you see?
The next trend is the trend that we're experiencing right now, and that is that more than 36 companies that collectively are worth trillions of dollars and collectively have hundreds of billions of dollars in cash in the bank are working as hard as they can to be the first to have a driverless car in mass production out on the streets in a ride-hailing capacity, which means when that happens, you'll be able to take a driverless car, call a driverless car to pick you up at your door, drop you off at your destination at a price competitive with any transit system, and far more convenient. Based on that, I predict that by 2030, outside of New York and maybe Chicago and San Francisco, transit as we know it will be extinct. And the only transit agencies left will be zombie agencies that exist solely to service their debt and to pay off their pension and health care obligations. So anybody who's building rail transit today is extremely foolish because all they're doing is adding to the debt that they're going to have to pay off with no customers in 10 to 15 years.
In most cities in the United States which build metros and light rail systems, about 20 cities or so, and many cities in France and Spain and Britain and so on, ask their mayors, and their mayors will say, it's not only that those vehicles are carrying people nicely, it was the main project in rebuilding the entire city to be much more pedestrian friendly. This light rail system is the main project there. And that's how they finance that, that's why they build them. And it's the type of city that you want that results in that decision. And not just how many people will drive at what distances. Plus, this extrapolation that everybody will go farther and farther in suburbs is really from the 1960s, and many trends. Our city of Philadelphia is now increasing population, and many cities around the world are increasing population in central cities.